Always wanted to play the guitar. Few weeks ago, Marty McFly pushed me over the edge. Went out, found a cheap second-hand Strat type, fell in love. Took her apart, figured out the mechanics, the electricals, but it's more than just science. It's art. And I want to do more art. So here I am with my youngest daughter, and I'm going to tell her my idea, and I want you to see her reaction. I am going to build a guitar and maybe even enter it into a competition. And I have 3 months to do it. What do you think?
I mean, you told me already you were gonna build a guitar. You didn't say anything about a competition, but do you get money for it?
Capitalists, a lot of them. Now, I can't show you my son on camera because 7 o'clock in the evening, he's in bed playing a video game, but you can listen to the church bells. So here we go. I am thinking of building a guitar. In 3 months, what do you think?
Go ahead.
Sorry, louder?
Yeah, sure.
There we are, you've heard it. Unequivocal support. So, I've got that support. My wife doesn't know yet, but my daughter knows, so it won't be long. Even the bells ring out in support. Okay, so here we are in my father's garage. A good source for tools. He's reached the age where he's not up to doing much woodwork or automotive work anymore. So yeah, happy if you take anything you like out of the garage. Kind of a win-win. So here we are. Let's see what we can find. So given that we've got to build a workshop, excellent lighting, let's see what we've got. Well, big dog for you to see. Files. Principally what my father did was work on old vintage cars, so a lot of this is metalwork type stuff, but some old files, cold chisels, pliers, Stanley knives, wire brushes, hacksaw blades, odds and sods of cars, double-sided tape, screwdrivers. What I particularly like is this old stuff, vintage I suppose. I'm looking forward to learning more about this sort of these sorts of tools. I love stuff that plastic. I love stuff which has got a history, which has been used by people over time. Little bradawl there. This is an old cabinet. I remember it from when I was young, that my parents bought in 1960. This is all automotive stuff. Meters, gauges, screwdrivers, but anything with the wooden handle seems particularly good. A hammer, largely, must have a use. So what we can do is we're going to go through this lot. Oh, good old solid mallet. I think that's mine actually. Good old solid mallet there. Lots of Stanley knives. Pliers. Hopefully we'll find something of particularly interesting interest. A lot of spanners and your expected collection of saws, particularly wood saws. So that's the sort of thing we're looking at. I'm going to want a bench. This, I don't know if this is a bench or a kitchen cabinet, but it's got a pretty solid metalwork vise on it. So yeah, we'll be emptying a lot of this and just seeing what we've got. I think somewhere there must be some planes. There must be some planes, possibly in this cupboard, but it's all kind of locked in at the moment, so let's see what's in that at some future time. Okay, now that is what you call a mallet. Probably a deadly weapon as well. Ooh, what have we here? Most of these, I believe, were actually my grandfather's. Going to need a little bit of work, methinks. Stanley, number 220, set squares, edges, little surf holes. Anyway, a lot of work ahead of us here. Oh, look at this stuff, lovely, lovely. Treasure trove. Now, when I was 17, I think, I had my first car, minivan, 850 minivan. I bought an engine, an 1100, 1098, and stripped it down, and over a period of months rebuilt it. And for that purpose, I bought a shed. Now, that garden shed is still in existence. And here it is. So this would have been 1976, 1977. It's done quite well to still exist at this time. Now in here, the usual set of gardening tools. That's not of direct interest at the moment to me, but there's still the workbench that I used way back then to strip down and rebuild mini engines. So my favourite thought on this one at the moment is get it out, see if it'll go into the back of my father's car, and we transfer that one. So with a bit of luck, we'll have a workbench and a fair amount of basic tools. And here is what will become the hub of the development, our garage. Currently, well, it was going to be for my car, but I think that has to give second place. So well, here it's going to be. It's dry, it's got a light, it's close to the house. So the tools and the bench arrive at their destination. Now the fun begins. Well, I've got the bench in place and tidied up. Taken out the vise, record number 52. She's pretty, she turns, but I think a bit of work getting the worst of the rust off, and this is going to need some repairs, and you can see how I've started to see whether the amount of oil that soaked into the wood when I was using this to rebuild engines has soaked in too far, and it seems it hasn't. The record number 5 seems to work without any sharpening or any work yet, so that looks like it's going to come up quite nicely. I've got to work through it and get out some of the nails before they damage the planes, but so far so good. Well, this is this is most of it. Haven't been through it one by one yet, but wow, this is already fun, and I haven't started yet. Well, it turns out that guitar building is quite tiring. Well, we got the bench done. I reckon I've planed off about 1 millimetre of oil and grease. There are still some patches where it seems to have gone a lot deeper. The really cool bit about doing this was this plane, William Marples and Son, Hibernia Work, Sheffield. You know the really cool bit? It has got my grandfather's name on it. Sort of makes it a bit special. Anyway, now on to this little chap. Yeah. All we need now is a guitar kit.